The U1, the Elstrom family's Miss Elam Plus, Dave Villwock, the winningest driver in the pit area, certainly one of the winningest in the history of the sport, hoping to add another notch here today.
The U225, Dr. Ken Muscatel, we saw him out here testing the waters literally just a few minutes ago, and he said, let's go racing.
And talk about a young man leading a charmed life. Mike Allen came into this weekend leading in national high points. The rookie out of New Orleans, Louisiana, spent 11 days away from home after the hurricane. Would not have been racing today, possibly, if the wind hadn't come up, giving him an extra 2 hours for the glue to dry, but he will be in this heat.
A brand new driver on the Unlimited circuit, Chris Bertram, not at all unfamiliar with Hydroplane. He's the current division champ in national mods. He's in the U9, and that is Jackson's Sports Bar.
And here is J.W. Myers, one of the great young hot shoes, they call him in this sport, driving for the Gregory family out of Las Vegas, Nevada, the USA Racing Team, and that's the U10.
The U37, Jean Theoret in the Beacon Plumbing. He needs some points right here, right now, right quick, because he lost all of his points because of a fuel violation yesterday.
And finally, the U99, Miss Lake Ridge Paving. Some of your programs might say plumbing. The Lake Ridge people do paving over in Seattle. Jeff is an outstanding young driver. Jeff Bernard in the U99 had his first appearance last year at Seafair. I believe this is his second event in an Unlimited.
And we're watching Jeff Bernard go down toward the Blue Bridge turn in the U99 Lake Ridge Paving right now as the boats get scored up still all over the race course at this point, Steve, and we're just above 3 minutes to go. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, all you have to do is watch that clock as it ticks down, and we'll bring them down to the start-finish line, and you can tell whether they're jumping the gun or not. That's why that clock is up there. It's for everybody to be able to keep track of where they are on that start.
All 6 boats up and running. You are looking at Dave Villwock in that International Orange, Rescue Orange Elam Plus. Villwock traditionally, when he drove particularly for Bernie Little, battled his way to the inside. We're finding that now that he has a little more leeway and nobody barking at him, why didn't you get the inside? He's actually moved out a couple of times and has had some success this year coming from lane 3 and 4. We'll see where he wants to go here.
There's J.W. Myers in the U10 Solutions Plus, and that boat is been completely rebuilt. It's one of the former Budweisers. We have 4 former Budweiser Unlimited hydroplanes here, and that is the T3 or Turbine 3 out of the Budweiser stable from a number of years ago. They took it down to Las Vegas and basically rebuilt it, got it set to go.
And there is Jean Theoret, the French-Canadian, who has been a sensation since joining the Unlimited circuit last year, the 2005 Rookie of the Year, the 2006 Gold Cup winner. Last week in Detroit, he lost a good part of the boat. The cowling and the wing were gone. Usually that takes away the handling. Didn't bother him. The boat was very, very fast, and Jean just put the pedal down and ran away from the field. An impressive drive. Oh, we got some action here right in front of us. A very, very near miss. Oh, my goodness, we just about saw one of the worst collisions that I have seen in my many, many years of watching this sport. Mike Allen in the FormulaBoats.com was coming through the infield toward us, and as he got right in front of us, he turned left right in front of the rookie, who had a very scary moment driving the U9 Jackson Sports Bar. I thought, Mark, they were going to go right over each other.
But a very, very nice job of avoiding that collision by Chris Bertram. Rookie, you wouldn't think he'd have the sense of mind to do that. He had to come outside the course to do it. But that is going to result in a penalty, I would bet, to the U5.
Actually, to the 7.
Sorry, 7.
Mike Allen is going to get a 1-lap penalty for that maneuver right there, and hats off to Chris Bertram for avoiding disaster. I believe we just about have that on camera, and maybe we can look at it again after we get done racing here, but a very, very scary moment here right in front of us. Now the boats are scoring up on the backstretch, and it looks like JW might have the inside in the dark yellow boat. It takes a little bit of time here before we are sure that no one's going to take away a lane. Muscatel had the inside. I believe JW now has moved up and taken it away from him. Mike Allen is behind the field a bit. Dave Villwock is out in lane 3 or 4. The 7 has been disqualified. Mike Allen can go back to the pits. He will not be allowed to race here. Now they're coming toward us. Swinging wide is the Lake Ridge Paving way on the outside. Jeff Bernard, he's going to be out in lane 6. A little bit of traffic there in the middle of the field. The leader is Ken Muscatel, but he has to slow down a little bit at the 5-second mark. Watch your screen now. 3, 2, 1. Bernard was right on the line, if indeed he wasn't too early.
And way on the outside, Jeff Bernard leads him down into the Blue Bridge turn, and you'll see Chris Bertram come through the picture here in just a few minutes. But we will have the start under review. Chris Bertram is where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be on the outside and in the back. But Dave Villwock is going to exit the Blue Bridge turn in first place. Ken Muscatel is coming. Well, he's losing ground now, and Theoret and J.W. Myers taking him right out after Dave Villwock.
What a beautiful turn as those four came sweeping through as Villwock going around the field on the outside. Then J.W. Myers stuck his yellow nose out on the inside. Jean Theoret between boats, and those four, along with Dr. Muscatel.
And there he is bouncing in.
Oh, there goes Villwock. We have an accident. We have a crash on the backstretch. The Elam Plus has gone over at the left end of the backstretch. The red flares will fire. We will stop the race. The rescue team will be on their way now to Dave Villwock and the stricken Elam Plus.
He is right there at the entrance buoy. That's where the boat landed. Hatch is up on the Elam Plus.
It is right side up.
And the boat is right side up, and you can see that Dave Villwock has popped the hatch on the Elam Plus.
Now this is going to be an issue because that is right where the officials were worried about the conditions. He was running into the wind up the backstretch, caught a gust, and got high in the air.
Dave is out of the boat. He's walking back. He's looking back at the wing on the back of the boat is broken. Looks like it may even be gone, but Dave is walking back up toward the cockpit now. The boat bounced a couple of times, Steve, and you could see the skid fin was completely out of the water. It bounced again, and Dave just didn't have enough of that canard to press down on to get the boat back down on the water.
We'll be able to replay this for you in just a moment here as soon as we get it rewound. Here we go. Watch Dave Villwock now on the straightaway, looking okay. Left sponson comes up just a little bit. There's a bounce. You want it to come back down. It does, but it bounces again, and this time it's too high. It's up and over, a complete 360 and then some, landing right on the transom, almost hit by one of the yellow boats going by. Fortunately, the boat bounced back right side up. Dave Villwock is okay walking around on the boat. Not the way, Mark, we wanted to start the day.
Nope, not at all. And Dave is directing traffic out there as the rescue boats hook up to the Miss Elam Plus. We're trying to get, if we can get maybe a little tighter shot of that. Want to look at the front canard on the boat as well. It looks like there may be some damage right in that front canard.
I think Dave, when you saw him walking around the boat originally, was actually doing a little inspection. He's well enough that he's concerned about the boat and wondering if perhaps it could race again today. Normally, that kind of an accident takes a boat out of action for some period of time, but we have seen examples of a boat going through contortions like that and being fixable. Dave might have been doing a little assessment of the damage to his race boat. Doesn't look good from the picture we're seeing at all.
Now, great camera work, guys, catching that. Absolutely terrific, and maybe we can roll that back again and take another look at it.
We see the front of the boat. That's probably the front canard or front wing that is broken on the part facing you. Boy, we've had more action than we wanted. We had a very near disaster here right in front of us before the start of the race, resulting in disqualification of Mike Allen in the U7 when he very nearly collided with Chris Bertram in the Jackson Sports Bar. I thought I was watching a disaster right in front of me here. It took me back to years ago, Mark, when I was the PA announcer 15 years before you were, and we sat right here and watched the pay and pack go over right in front of us. So good seat for a lot of action right here at start finish.
Well, Chris Bertram managed to avoid Mike Allen in the FormulaBoats.com 2 and two buoys that are the start finish line buoys on the outside course markers, and you can now see the rescue sleds hooking up to the Elstrom Miss Elam Plus to bring that boat into the pit area. The rest of the boats have begun to work their way back to the pit area as well.
Now the question is going to be, did the conditions have something to do with that incident? And I'm sure there will be a big discussion about this in the pit area. We talked before the race about the fact that the wind was coming down the river. The current comes down the river. They were heading right into the part of the race course where it is the roughest. And that's exactly where Dave Villwock got in trouble and went over in the Elam Plus. We can only hope that the conditions are good enough for us to continue racing this afternoon. But what we've just seen is probably not bode well for the way the officials are going to look at this thing.
A couple of the boats that are right in front of us, Chris Bertram had the boat up and running heading back to the pits. He bounced it a little hard over the wake that was left by J.W. Myers as he's heading back in the Miss Solutions Plus and put the fire out. Bertram now has the boat back under power as well, and might have an opportunity when he gets back to the pits for Scott Royster to talk with Chris Bertram about that near collision that they had. So
Scott, also in the pit area, Scott, the members of the Elam crew by now will have spoken to Dave, and they probably can tell you a little bit about what happened. So if you head down that way and let us know when you get there, we can come down to you for any information that the Elam crew